Hi, everybody, and welcome to Module 7. We're at the end of the course, and this is when your final project is due. Let me grab my notes. Okay, so you have 2 assignments due this week. You have a discussion board post, which is on elder abuse. Your initial post is due Thursday, April 16th, and your response posts are due this Sunday, April 19th. I should say today is Monday, April 13th. And also due this week is your final project that is due on Sunday, April 19th. So after 4 milestones, we're finally here. Now it's time to pull it all together. Again, I'm going to reiterate that your milestones were separate, different sections of your final project. So you pull them all together. I posted a final job, project job aid in the announcements on Brightspace and a final project template to make sure that you keep all of your, or make sure you include all of the sections that are needed. I also reposted the SNHG Rubrics 101 document because, as you know, I have to use the rubric to grade. So the best way to ensure that you are addressing all of the assignment expectations is by looking at that particular rubric. And then I am going to send my weekly email after this video, so I'll include them as attachments there. All right, so some general tips on the final project. First, I don't want to see the questions. I know that maybe you're including the questions to help guide you and guide your writing. So I don't want to see the headers of your names and the dates of particular milestones as if you literally took all 4 assignments and just put them together in one document. No, you want to make sure that it coincides with one another, that that the paper flows, that you're just pulling it all together into one big final paper, because those milestones were particular assignments. Also, I noticed like a lot in the milestones, you provided overviews or introductions at the beginning of each milestone saying, my topic is this is the familial trend I'm working on, which is fine for that milestone. But remember, you're combining them all into one paper. So you don't necessarily need to restate the familial trend at the beginning paragraph of what will be in the middle of your final project, right? In your final paper, when it was once, at the beginning of your milestone, if that makes sense. So you're going to want to scrub some of that information out of there and trying to put it into one big cohesive paper. Please also incorporate my feedback. I spent countless hours in providing you specialized feedback. I actually look back and refamiliarize myself with the feedback. The feedback will help you move from meets expectations to exceeds expectations, right? If you implement the feedback that I provided in your meets expectations milestone assignments, then most likely you're going to get to exceeds expectations in that final project. So it's something just to consider or take into account as you're pulling it all together. And then finally, there are certain sections of your milestones that you should not include. One in particular, and that is the beginning of milestone 2. Remember, milestone 2, you needed to list search terms, list resources. This was just a research plan to get you thinking about how to begin your research. That does not need to be included for obvious reasons in your final submission and your final article. So again, the best way to ensure that you have all of the sections included and not all of the sections included is to, you don't have to use it, but take a look at the template. Get an understanding of making sure that you have all of those pieces. So that's actually it for me. This is a really quick video. Good luck. Have a great week. Good luck on your final project. I'm excited to read them all. Very interesting. We're talking elder abuse, difference in family mealtime, boomerang generation, waiting to get married, waiting to have children, all sorts of things. I'm trying to think. I mean, all sorts of great topics. So looking forward to reading your papers. Reach out if you have any questions at all. Thanks, guys. Bye.